Happy Monday. It's a great day to be alive, just like Friday or Saturday, I guess like Wednesday or any other day. Every day you are alive, it's a good day. That's the whole point of life. All you have to do is survive another day, push through another moment, and you never know what's going to happen the next one. Miracles happen all the time. Magic is all around us. We are the magic. I managed to go outside for a couple of minutes earlier and I caught this beautiful sunset. I made a post on my Facebook earlier about it. A funny thing is that, the other day I made a post about catching a sunrise and now a sunset. In reality, I missed so many of these sunrises and sunsets, throughout my life because I was busy living, I was busy working, I was busy really enjoying myself. I can't say, I was forced to, do some hard labor or serve a sentence in prison. It was work, it was things I kind of had to do, but I still managed to enjoy everything I was doing. That's the key to existence, is to be happy with what it is that you do. I spent almost half of my life in Asia. I lived in South Korea for such a long time and I was a workaholic. I've always been a workaholic. I worked like 12 hours a day sometimes. I would in the morning go to Hyundai company to do some consulting, then I would go to my university, then I would go to a kindergarten to play with kids. And in between these classes I would eat in my car, and just observe the world outside. I used to look at people sitting in coffee shops and just almost start crying and just thinking to myself, look at them. They're just sitting in that coffee shop, they're having coffee, doing nothing. Like, they have nowhere to go. They don't have like 20 minutes to make it across, this big city to another class, to another meeting. They're not devouring food in their car, while, jumping from one school to another. They just seemed so relaxed, enjoying themselves. I don't know how to do nothing. It's impossible. It's very, very difficult. I remember a story that kind of explained everything to me in practical terms, why I am the way I am and why I am this workaholic that I am. Many people think I do work hard and I have dreams and goals to chase. But that's not really the case. I love what I do and I never really, had problems with it. Even this fact that my heart at this point decided to kind of take a break and say, look, Eldin, man, slow down. Can't catch up with you. Too much excitement and too much happiness every day. I need a rest. I need a break. I need to see sunset. I need to see sunrise, Slow down. Even this condition that I have with my heart is a hereditary condition. My old man had exactly the same thing when he was 50 years old, and I beat him by 2 years. But my life has been a little bit more exciting. Even though he survived the war, I survived at 2 at least. So how do you measure a life? I don't mean to compete, I'm sorry, to my old man for even doing that, or to myself, because life is not a competition. Life is to be lived. So this heart condition had nothing to do with me working, and killing myself apparently at my work. It is just something that was God given to me. It's in my DNA. Of course, stress and food and the lifestyle did not help. But regardless of that, I would have, gone in a similar, or I would have ended up in a similar situation even if I had smoothies every day and meditate and meditated for like the last 48 years of my life, which is what I did. After all, I spent half of my life in South Korea learning about Buddhism, trying to detach, trying to become a better version of myself. Again, I digress. The European style of speaking. Several years ago, my friend invited me to support them during the Freedom Convoy movement. I was ridiculed in town. My comedian friends used to go to our rallies to think whether I was joking and putting on some kind of a show rather than supporting the people. But in my reality, I don't like divisions. I've seen what divisions can happen, the whole us and them mentality. When these vaccines were mandated and people were kind of like, either you take the shot or you stay home and do nothing, a lot of people were kind of, asking the right questions. Why are we forced to take the vaccines? What's going on? Again, to remember September 11, to this day we know that September 11 was an inside job, but that truth is somehow omitted. We know what happened in Iraq, we know what happened in Afghanistan, we know what happened in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but 100 times repeated lie becomes the truth. So which is why I told my friends, sure, yes, of course I will support you, because I don't want to destroy bridges between the people. My job is to build the bridges, to make people connect with each other, to give each other, space and time, because everybody's opinion is valuable. We are all one. This universe belongs to all of us, regardless of our opinions, regardless of our ethnicity or sexual orientation. To say that your opinion is right and your opinion is not right, who the hell are you to say that? Regardless of your opinion, because I will die fighting for your right to express your opinion, whether it's right or wrong, because that's not up to me to decide. There are no right and wrong things. Rumi himself said, beyond right and wrong there is a field and I will meet you there. We know that. Anyways, I ended up, showing up with the guitar at this rally in front of our government building, Confederation building here in St. John's, to play some Bob Marley, one love, get up, stand up, let's get together and feel all right. And I ended up being the most outspoken person on this Freedom Convoy movement, even though I was the one who was fully vaccinated. People were always asking me, how can you sit on these two chairs? Why do you support the vaccinated and the unvaccinated? I got so much shit, by the way, and mostly from unvaccinated people about it, because they just considered me crazy for supporting the unvaccinated. And again, every time I did this, I tried to explain to them that I'm not supporting their opinion, but their right to express their opinion, or my right to express my opinion, because I know what it means to be marginalized. I come from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Marginalization led to genocide. And I really don't have to explain to you how that affected lives of millions of people. It starts with small steps. Look what happened in freaking Germany. And it starts with small steps and ends up with concentration camps and whatnot. I don't want to go that far into it, of course. But it does go to that. So yes, there I was with a bunch of friends playing music. I remember I was doing O Bella Ciao. There was like 300 people in front of us, trucks, cars, everybody's honking their horns, people are singing O Bella Ciao, I'm playing the guitar. We had a friend playing the bass, we had another friend playing the drums, there was trumpets, other kind of percussion instruments. Halfway through a song, I feel half of my body gone. I can no longer change the chords. I can no longer make the sound with my mouth. I cannot keep the beat with my foot. I don't feel half of my body. I'm asking myself, what is this? Nevertheless, I end up, I manage finishing the song, kind of finishing the concert. Luckily, it was kind of towards the end of the concert. No one knew what I was going through. There was, all these people there, chanting, yelling, honking their horns. The band is loud. We are just playing, because I was still able to use my right hand to keep the rhythm, but I just couldn't catch the chords. So I end up, the song and kind of saying, yeah, long live the liberty, freedom of expression. Then I take a seat. I tell my friend Kara, who was the bass player, hold my hand and take me to a chair. And she was like, what's going on? I couldn't even express what was happening to me, because I was just shocked completely. Ended up going to a hospital because I suffered from something called TIA, which is like a mini stroke. In reality, nothing really happened. It was not pronounced as a stroke per se. It was just exhaustion, something to do with my brain. My brain stopped. I believe it was a mini stroke. And after they did this CAT scanning of my brain, they told me that I was born with some kind of cyst that is pushing on my right side of the brain, which influences my creativity. Every instrument I pick up, I can play. I can play the drums, the piano, the guitar, the trumpet. I can speak 7 languages, and that's why I'm like this, and this is why I'm a workaholic. It is not a matter of me trying to calm down and meditate. I was born this way, just like Lady Gaga said it. Does that make me better or worse than anybody else? It doesn't. This is the whole point of this world. All of us are unique individuals, and all of us have an intricate piece of a puzzle towards this whole existence. We all make one. We are all equally important, and it's very, very important to be able to give each other space to nourish each other. A lot of it is pure bullshit, I have to say, because a lot of things that we say, unfortunately, are just repeated things that we've heard in medias, that we've seen in movies. I mean, most of the things that we quote are lyrics from songs or things that our teachers have told us. To this day, my kids, because they were born in South Korea, think that Japan did something horrible to Korea just because they learned Korean history, which was greatly affected by Japan. So it goes to show that, a couple of Bosnian Canadians growing up in South Korea can learn to think like South Koreans because of the environment in schools. Critical thinking and common sense are something that are very, very, very difficult to develop and to cherish and to kind of challenge, because it is very difficult to differentiate the voice of your soul, the voice of your heart, and the voice that has been embedded into you through our society, through our education. Because in the end, the society is only creating you for what the needs are. We need plumbers, we need nurses, we need pizza makers. We don't need critical thinkers. We don't need artists. And people like me somehow end up falling to the cracks. And end up doing these things like this, like making videos and making songs that nobody really understands. But that's the whole point of life. And I'm extremely grateful that I'm getting another chance to see another sunrise, another sunset, and to share it with you, because that is the truth of life. You can't handle the truth. The truth is in silence. It's in that moment when you're by yourself, observing that silence. All the answers are there. Listen to your heart when it's speaking to you and do the right thing, whatever that might be for you. I love you all. You have my permission to be yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.